This week on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast, I'm sharing with you some of the top regrets from retirees. This is both from research and surveys, as well as from my own experience, just anecdotally, working with clients over the last 17 years and doing deep dives and having deep discussions on their finances and what they regret. Today, I'm talking about one of the top regrets from retirees, which is forgetting healthcare costs. So when you are planning for retirement, this especially comes up right on the cusp of retirement. So maybe 6 to 12 months out from retirement, I end up sitting down with my clients at that stage and we go through a pretty deep dive planning process just to make sure that they have all their ducks in a row in their position where they can retire in the coming months. So one of the things that I frequently notice is that when we're budgeting and looking at spending targets for retirement, most of my clients aren't considering healthcare costs. They don't really know how much healthcare is going to cost. If they're covered by Medicare, if they're retiring and they're already 65, a lot of them have some misunderstandings of what healthcare is going to cost, that yes, it will still cost money in retirement and it can be expensive. For a lot of my clients, I would say on average, it maybe costs around $1,000 a month all in. But it can be less than that. It can be much more than that, especially if you are retiring before age 65 when Medicare kicks in. So the takeaway here is that after housing, typically healthcare costs are going to be your next biggest expense on an annualized basis. So it's not something that you want to set aside or accurately plan for. Now, the good news is that there's tools out there, there's calculators. You can easily estimate what your healthcare costs are going to be with multiple free and easy to use tools online. You want to take into account not just your age and your income and where you live. Those things determine healthcare costs, I would say, more than anything else. But you can also dive deeper by looking at, okay, what are some of the health concerns I have individually and how is that going to impact what healthcare is going to cost? If I'm retiring before age 65, how am I going to plug that gap and how expensive is that going to be? So planning in advance and understanding and not being blindsided by what healthcare is actually going to cost in retirement is one of the best ways that you can avoid this surprise, huge expense that retirees have to shoulder, and it causes a lot of financial insecurity for a lot of retirees simply because they didn't plan for it, they didn't budget, they didn't account for it, and now it's eating up all their otherwise discretionary income in retirement. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ashley Michike, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips podcast.